So first, let's just talk about fibers. Let's talk about yarn. So what is mean by fibers? Hmm? This is the rawest form, right? We will convert staple fibers can be there, filament fibers can be there. So fibers can be of two types. Staple fibers can based on length. Okay, based on length, fibers can be of two types. They can be staple, they can be filament. Staple means short fibers, filament means long fibers. So based on length, based on length, fibers can be of two types, staple fibers and filament fibers. Can anyone give examples for filament fibers? Silk, yes. Silk is the only natural filament fiber. Okay, silk is the only natural filament fiber. All the other natural fibers are staple fibers, which is then converted into yarns through the process called spinning. Through the process called spinning. So basically, based on the content, we can just classify textile fibers. Why is it like this? 1 minute. Let me just check this. Okay. So basically, based on the content, textile fibers can be classified into two. So based on the length of the fiber, we classified it into two, right? Staple fibers and filament fibers. And we also know the examples for both the sections or both the classifications. When it comes to staple fibers, cotton, jute, linen, all these are examples for staple fibers, whereas for filament fibers, silk is one example, whereas silk is the only natural filament fiber. Based on the composition or chemical composition, we can classify textile fibers into two different types. So what are they?
Natural fibers.
Natural
And synthetic fibers.
and man-made fibers. And man-made fibers. Yes. And again, natural fibers are again classified into three. What are they? Natural fibers are again classified into three. One is cellulosic. One is cellulosic. One is cellulosic. 1 minute. So textile fibers can be classified into two, natural fibers and man-made fibers. Again, natural fibers can be again classified into three, cellulosic, protein, and mineral fibers. Okay. protein, and mineral fibers. So this is actually fibers classification. So fibers can be classified into two different types, natural, man-made, in which natural can be again classified into cellulosic, protein, and mineral, and man-made can be again classified into what all? Man-made can be again classified into cellulosic, synthetic, protein, mineral, and metallic. So these are the classifications of fibers, natural and man-made. Natural is again classified into cellulosic, protein, and mineral. Man-made is again classified into five: cellulosic, synthetic, protein, mineral, and metallic. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts so far? We just discussed about fibers, right? Two classifications based on length. It is again classified into staple fibers and filament fibers based on the composition. Fibers can be classified into man-made and natural. Natural fibers are again classified into three: cellulosic, protein, and mineral fibers, whereas man-made fibers are again classified into five: cellulosic, protein, mineral, metallic, and synthetic. Like this, five classifications under man-made fibers. So examples for natural cellulosic fibers are cotton, jute, flax, and bamboo fibers. All these are examples for natural plant or cellulosic fibers. Whereas natural protein fibers, silk, wool, all these are examples for natural protein fibers. Human hair is also an example for natural protein fiber. What about natural mineral fiber? Asbestos. Man-made cellulosic fiber. Man-made cellulosic fiber. Examples for man-made cellulosic fibers are viscous rayon, tencel, etc. Whereas examples for man-made synthetic fibers are polyester, nylon, acrylic, polyethylene, etc. Whereas examples for man-made protein fibers are soya bean fiber, polylactic acid fiber, etc. So we don't have to discuss about all the other mineral fiber. Example for man-made mineral fiber, it is just glass fiber, ceramic fiber. Whereas for metallic, aluminium, tungsten, silver, all these are examples for man-made metallic fiber. Whereas textile fibers are man-made cellulosic and man-made synthetic fibers, and natural protein fiber and natural cellulosic fiber, from which these are the textile fibers. Now let's just discuss about natural fibers. As we know, natural fibers can be again classified into three, from which two classifications are textile fibers: synthetic, not synthetic, protein, and cellulosic. Now let's talk about cotton. What all are the properties of cotton? Properties of cotton. Properties of cotton. The basic properties of cotton. Properties of cotton. The first point, I will just write down the first point. It is cellulosic. Okay, cotton is a cellulosic fiber. What about the other properties of cotton? We discussed a few, right? Hmm? Poor static electricity. Cotton is having poor static electricity. Hygroscopic in nature. That means it absorbs moisture. Because of its hygroscopic nature, cotton is having poor static electricity. Okay, so 2 points. Hygroscopic in nature, that is, it absorbs moisture. Poor static electricity, it is cellulosic in nature. And what all are the other properties of cotton? Tell me the basic properties of cotton.
Photochemical degradation.
Photochemical degradation. So can you explain what is photochemical degradation, Lakshmi?
Uh, in sunlight, we can.
So we usually say that you are not supposed to leave cotton clothes under sunlight for long, right? You're not supposed to leave it outside for so long because it will fade whatever, if it is a yellow color, whatever color the cotton fabric is of, it will just fade the color or the pigmentation, whatever the cotton fabric is having. So because of which, that is what photochemical degradation is. Okay, so that is what photochemical degradation is. You are not supposed to leave it out under the sun for so long. So in the presence of atmospheric oxygen and moisture, this causes the yellowness in undyed cotton or white fabric after a period of time. So that is what it is. Another property.
It can get wrinkled easily.
It wrinkles easily. Yes, cotton wrinkles easily. It's a kind of stiff fabric, right? So it wrinkles easily. Is it lustrous? Is it shiny? No, right? Hmm? What happens when we burn cotton fibers?
It emits the smell of burning paper.
Burning paper, yes. When we burn a cotton fiber or a cotton fabric, a piece of cotton cloth, it emits the smell which is similar to burning a piece of paper. Why it emits a similar smell? Why it emits a similar smell? Because both paper and cotton, they both are plant-based, right? That is the reason why it emits similar smell. What about the properties of ash? What is the speciality of ash? A light gray color, or crumbles easily. So that is the properties. That is what happens. That is what we get when we burn cotton fiber or cotton cotton fabric. Yes. Now back to properties of cotton. So it is cellulosic in nature and it is having poor static electricity, hygroscopic in nature, photochemical degradation, wrinkles easily. What about the other properties? What all are the other properties of cotton? It conducts heat. Yes?
It can resist bleaches.
Yes. Resistance to bleaches, right? And we can use any detergents and anything for washing cotton fabrics, right? Resistance to alkali. And none of the cotton garments comes with a care label saying that you're supposed to use low heat while ironing cotton clothes, right? None of the wash care labels or care labels says that that comes along with the cotton garment says that you're supposed to iron it using low heat, right? That is what contact heat. Hmm? So it is safe to use high heat while ironing cotton clothes. So these are the basic properties of cotton fibers or cotton fabric. Any doubts? Any doubts regarding cotton? What all are the basic properties of cotton? Basic properties of cotton? Photochemical degradation, cellulosic in nature. Cellulosic cotton is a cellulosic fiber. It is having photochemical degradation, poor wrinkle resistance, good water absorption property. It is hygroscopic in nature. It even absorbs perspiration. Yes, poor static electricity because of its hygroscopic nature. Conduct heat. So these are the basic properties related to cotton fiber or cotton fabric, which is a natural cellulosic fiber, which is a natural cellulosic fiber. And cotton fibers can be dyed easily with different classes of dyes like direct, reactive, VAT, and sulfur dyes. So cotton fabrics, cotton yarns, fabrics and cotton yarns are dyed using direct dyes, reactive dyes, VAT, and sulfur dyes. When we discuss about dyes can be classified into different categories, right? From that, natural cotton fabrics can be, cotton fabrics or cotton yarns can be dyed using direct, reactive, VAT, and sulfur dyes. So these are the important points or properties regarding cotton. Now we are going to discuss about jute. So jute, tell me about jute. Is it a protein? Is it a cellulosic fiber? Is it a protein or a cellulosic fiber? Jute, is it a protein or a cellulosic fiber?
Cellulosic.
It's cellulosic, yes. It's cellulosic, yes. It's cellulosic. What about its absorption property? Is it hygroscopic? What is happening? Is it hygroscopic? Is jute hygroscopic?
Yes,
Yes. Why jute is hygroscopic?
because it can absorb the moisture content.
Yes, because it can absorb moisture, right? Because of it, it is hygroscopic. Yes, it absorbs moisture. What about its strength? The cotton is having good strength. Okay. So when it comes to strength of the fabric and fiber, cotton is having high strength. Jute is stronger than cotton actually. Okay. Jute is a rough fiber, rough fabric. Jute is stronger than cotton. So high strength. High strength. Which makes jute suitable for making bags, sacks, etc. Okay, which makes it suitable for making bags, sacks, carpets, etc. So cellulosic, hygroscopic, it is having high strength. What about elongation property? Low elongation. It doesn't elongate, right? If we try to stretch the cotton fabric or jute fabric, it doesn't elongate, it doesn't stretch, right? So for both cotton and for jute also, it is low elongation, high strength. Jute is stronger than cotton. Yes. So these are the basic properties of jute. More than constructing garments, jute fabric is more suitable for constructing bags, sacks, and carpets. And these are the common use of what jute fabric. Now, now do a comparison between cotton fiber, cotton fabric, or and jute fabric. Do a comparison between both. Do a comparison between both. How similar they are and how different are they. And just
Both
like,
are
yes, both are,
cellulosic.
both are cellulosic, yes, both are cellulosic, both are hygroscopic, both are staple fibers, yes,
Both have low elongation.
both are having low elongation, good strength, but jute is stronger than cotton, right? Yes. And now let's discuss about flax fiber or linen fabric. Okay, flax fiber or linen fabric. Flax or linen. Tell me the basic properties of flax or linen. What will happen if we burn a flax fiber or a linen fiber? What will happen?
Burns with a yellow flame.
Burns with a yellow flame, yes. It burns with a yellow flame, just like cotton. Cotton also burns with a yellow flame. Okay. And it glows after a while. And it burns fast also. When it comes to cotton, cotton burns faster. But when it comes to flax or linen, it takes a little bit time to burn completely, and it burns with a yellow flame, with a paper burning smell, with a light grayish ash, which is soft. So, what all are the other properties of flax? It is cellulosic. It is cellulosic. Flax or linen, it's cellulosic. Yes. Is it a lustrous fabric? Is it shiny? No, right? A dull fabric. Okay. Linen or flax, it's a dull fabric. It's a lightweight fabric. It is hygroscopic in nature. It is hygroscopic in nature. What about alkalis? What about alkalis? Is it okay to use detergents while washing linen fabric?
Good.
Any? Resistance to alkalis, just like cotton. And it can be dyed easily, just like cotton, fabrics, or fibers. Linen can also be dyed in multiple colors, can be dyed easily. Is it wrinkle resistant? Is cotton wrinkle resistant? Is, is linen wrinkle resistant? No. So it wrinkles easily, right? Just like cotton, maybe more than cotton, right? So these are the basic properties of flax or linen. Cellulosic, not lustrous, hygroscopic, resistant to alkali. So it is completely fine to wash it with detergents. It can be dyed easily and it wrinkles easily. So these are the basic properties of linen or flax. Now we are going to discuss about wool. Wool. So how wool is different from all the other fibers or fabrics that we discussed so far? How is it different? How wool is different from all the fibers and fabrics that we have discussed so far? How
It
is
is
it
a
different?
protein fiber.
Yes, wool is a protein fiber. It's basically hair, right? Wool is basically hair. Yes. So, properties of wool. Properties of wool. Is it alkali resistant? Is it hygroscopic? Is it having good photochemical degradation property? Is it resistant to photochemical degradation? What about heat conductivity? Just think about wool.
It has high hygroscopic nature.
Okay. What about other properties? What about the strength? Sorry.
Good elongation.
Good elongation compared to cotton. It elongates more than cotton. It is also having good strength, but lower than cotton, whereas jute is having strength more than cotton. And wool elongate more than cotton. It is resistant to acids more than alkalis. It is not resistant to alkalis, but it is resistant to acids. So it is not okay to wash your wool garments or wool fabric using detergents. So when it comes in contact with alkalis, it dissolves. Okay, when a wool fiber comes in contact with an alkali, it dissolves. Yes. What about photochemical degradation? What about photochemical degradation? What about photochemical degradation? Just like cotton, it will lose its color. Okay, it will become yellow, yellowish. So it is not okay to leave your wool garments out there for so long. Yes. And when it comes in contact with water, it shrinks. Okay. When wool comes in contact with water, it shrinks. Yes. So, cotton fibers are like curly hairs. Okay. Cotton fibers are not cotton, wool fibers are like curly hairs, which makes it suitable for what? Which makes it suitable for winter seasons. So that is one basic that is also one of the basic properties of wool. And wool is also having good absorption, but it shrinks when it comes to contact with water. So these are the basic properties of wool. So what all are the basic properties of wool? Basic properties of wool. Protein, it's a protein fiber. Then
Good elongation.
good elongation. Then
Resistant to acid than alkali.
resistance to acid than alkali. Then
Photochemical degradation.
photochemical degradation. What
It
about
has
hmm?
less than cotton.
Strength? Next, what is the next property?
More hygroscopic in nature.
hygroscopic in nature. Can absorb more moisture than, it is more hygroscopic than cotton, right? Yes. So these are the basic properties of wool. Now, the next fiber we are going to discuss is about silk. Silk is also a protein fiber. It's a filament fiber. It's a filament fiber. And what all are the other properties of silk? Other properties of silk.
Good strength.
Lustrous. Then lustrous,
Good strength.
good strength. Yes, filament fiber. Photochemical degradation.
Shiny. Sure.
Yes, lustrous. That is what lustrous is. What about alkalis and acids? Reaction to alkalis and acids. It's going to sit for a while, okay? What about reaction to alkalis and acids?
Degraded. Easily.
Yes. So it is more resistant to acids than alkalis, just like wool, right? Am I right? So dry
Yes.
cleaning, yes. So rather than washing it with a detergent, it is good to dry clean cotton. Not cotton, it's always cotton for me. Silk, fabrics or fibers, right? Yes. And photochemical degradation. There are two different
Yes.
types of silk. Chade. Two different types of silks. Which are they? Cultivated silk, which is called mulberry silk or the normal silk, and wild silk, which are the tussar, muga, and all those, eric silk and all. The mulberry silk will be having a smooth texture and all, or the normal silk will be having a smooth texture, whereas the tussar silk and muga silk, they will be having a coarse texture, or it will be having a rough texture. From the appearance itself, it is very different from the normal silk. Okay, they are also the tussar and the muga silk. They are also called the wild silk. And why the normal silk is called mulberry silk? Why are they known as mulberry silk?
Because these silkworms feed on the mulberry leaves.
Yes, mulberry leaves. That is the reason why they are called mulberry silk. And the wild silk examples tussar, muga, eric, and they will be having a rough texture in appearance. And what about the properties of silk? What about the properties of silk?
Stronger than wool.
Okay, stronger than wool. It is a filament. Then resistant to acid. Then alkalis. Photochemical degradation. Photochemical degradation. What is the process of removing silk gum from silk strands called? It's called degumming, right? Degumming. Hmm. So the silk strands or the silk fibers will be having a rectangular cross section. So two silk strands or two silk fibers will be attached together using a gum called sericin. So these two silk strands or silk fibers will be attached together using a gum, silk gum called sericin. And the process of removing this sericin, the process of removing sericin is called degumming. The process of removing sericin and separating both silk strands are called degumming. And because of the triangular cross section of silk fibers, it is having a lustrous appearance. So one of the reasons why silk is a lustrous fiber or fabric is that the fibers are having a triangular cross section. So these are the basic properties of, and we have wild silk and we have mulberry silk, right? So these are the basic properties of silk. Now we will just take a short break and then we will start the class again. Okay, a 5 minutes break. Just go, have some water and come back. Okay. What is the speciality of man-made fibers?
They are not natural.
They are not natural. Yes, they are man-made, right? They are completely man-made using polymers like cellulosic and other chemical and synthetic polymers. Man created those fibers, right? With the by using cellulosic and synthetic polymers, man created a set of fibers, right? So those are called man-made fibers, which can again be classified like based on the polymers which were used. It can be classified into cellulosic fibers, like cellulosic man-made fibers and synthetic fibers, right? Mhm. So which all are the examples for cellulosic man-made fibers? The cellulosic man-made fibers are obtained from wood pulp, and the fibers like viscose rayon and all are made.
Viscose rayon.
Yes, viscose rayon. So it is an example for cellulosic man-made fiber. What about synthetic fiber? Synthetic fiber. Yes, polyester. Polyester is an example for synthetic fiber. Now, let's talk about viscose rayon in detail. Okay. It's a cellulosic fiber because of which it do have a lot of properties similar to cotton. It shares a lot of properties with cotton. What are they? What all properties do it share with cotton? Hmm? What all are the properties of viscous rayon? It's actually, yes, yes,
Cellulosic in nature.
yes, cellulosic in nature. It is hygroscopic in nature because it is cellulosic, right? So it absorbs moisture just like cotton. It is also just like how cotton is a best option for summer climatic condition and all summer. Viscose is also a suitable material for summer because it is hygroscopic in nature. It absorbs moisture. It also absorbs perspiration just like cotton. Yes, it is also resistant to alkalis, which makes it suitable. Okay. So now, viscous rayon. So viscous rayon, it is cellulosic in nature, which makes it similar to cotton. We can call it a man-made replica of cotton, right? We can call it a man-made replica of cotton. Yes, hygroscopic. It absorbs moisture. Just like cotton. It absorbs perspiration. Then it is resistant to alkali. You can easily wash viscose rayon fabrics using detergents. Yes. Then, so it is having similar properties like cotton, right? So viscose rayon fibers are used for making lace, lining for coats and all those things, for crepe fabric and all. To create crepe fabric and all, viscose rayon fibers are used. And viscose rayon fibers are even mixed with cotton fibers to create a fabric with a better texture. Okay. So viscose rayon is even mixed with cotton to create a fabric with better texture. Now, the next fiber, which is polyester, So basically, all these, all these man-made fibers, all these man-made fibers, especially synthetic fibers, they all are filament fibers. Okay, so so this is how staple fibers looks like. This is what staple fibers looks like. And this is what filament fibers looks like. Just like our long hair, just like our hair. This is what filament fibers looks like, and this is what the staple fibers looks like. So all of the synthetic fibers, they are basically filament fibers. They are basically filament fibers which will be cut into small staple fibers. Okay, which will be then cut into small and then cut and converted into staple fibers. Okay, so all the synthetic fibers, all the synthetic fibers are filament fibers which will be cutted and converted into staple. Okay, and then it will be converted into what? Yarn. Then these staple fibers will be converted into yarn. So we can convert yarns, we can convert these fibers to yarns in two different ways. Okay, in two different ways. One is S twist, and the other one is Z twist. The one is S twist, and the other one is Z twist. So we can convert fibers into yarns in two different ways. One is S twist, one is Z twist. So what is an S twist? How S twist is done? So if this is a set of fibers, okay. If this is a set of fibers, if this is a set of fibers, and if I twist it to the right hand side, then it is a Z twist. If the twist is towards the right hand side, then it is a Z twist. Okay. If the twist of the yarn is towards the left hand side, then it is a S twist. So that is the difference. Okay. Z twist. So like that, in two ways you can convert fibers into yarns. Is S twist and Z twist. It's like a tongue twister actually. So left hand side is Z twist like this. You can see the direction, right? So right hand side. So just like this, you can convert all these fibers into yarns. So now we were talking about polyester, right? And we also said that all the synthetic fibers will be filament fibers, which will be cut and converted into stable fibers, and which will be then converted into yarns using an S twist or a Z twist. Yes. Now, the properties of polyester. Now, let's talk about the properties of polyester. So, polyester is a man-made. Polyester is a man-made what? Polyester is a man-made synthetic filament, which will be then converted into a staple fiber. What are the properties of polyester? Is it a dull fabric or a dull fiber? It is having a lustrous appearance, right? Polyester is having a lustrous appearance. It is thermoplastic in nature. It is very strong. It is hydrophobic in nature. Hydrophobic in nature, as it is a plastic, as it is thermoplastic, it doesn't absorb water. It doesn't absorb much moisture. It doesn't absorb, which makes it easy to dry. Which makes it easy to dry. It doesn't absorb. It is hydrophobic. It is hydrophobic in nature. It doesn't absorb moisture. It is very strong. It is having a lustrous appearance, and it is thermoplastic in nature. It is wrinkle resistant, and it is more resistant to acids than alkalis. So one of the cons of using polyester fabric is that as it is thermoplastic in nature, when it comes in contact with high temperature, it melts. Just like how the polythene cover, the basic component of polyester is only polythene. So it just melts. It just melts. Polyester fabrics, it just melts. Okay, it's basically plastic only. So when it comes in contact with high temperature, heat and all, it melts. So what if we are wearing a polyester kurti or top and we got into a fire? Then this thing, it will just melt and it makes the situation more worse than it already is because it's burning everywhere. It's fire everywhere. Our body is burning. This fabric is melting and it will stick to our body, right? It will melt and stick to our body. So it will make the condition more worse. But it do have a lot of good properties, right? When cotton is having poor wrinkle resistance, when cotton wrinkle easily, it is having good wrinkle resistance, right? And it doesn't have the photochemical degradation thing, doesn't fade when it is left under sun. Okay, it doesn't fade. So no photochemical degradation there. And what all other properties are there? It is more resistant to acid than alkalis. So we can just mix polyester with cotton or viscose rayon to create a blended fabric, right? To introduce the properties of both fibers in a single fabric, we can just blend polyester and cotton, which will make the fabric, the blended version, a little bit hygroscopic in nature, which will makes it which will introduce a absorption property, and all the good things of cotton and all the good things of polyester will be come together, will be brought together in a single fabric, right? Yes. So polyester. So now we know all the properties of polyester, and another property of polyester is that it is oleophilic in nature. It is oleophilic in nature, actually. Oleophilic, it absorbs oil. It is hydrophobic in nature, which means it doesn't absorb water, or poor absorption, poor water absorption. Whereas it is oleophilic in nature. Polyester is oleophilic in nature, which means it absorbs oil. It absorbs oil. Okay, and it is having good wrinkle resistance also. It is thermoplastic in nature. So, as I said, as it is thermoplastic in nature, it is not safe to wear a polyester garment or polyester fabric when it is hot outside, really hot outside, right? When you are handling with fire and all, it is not okay to use polyester fabric or polyester garments. So later, the designers tried to introduce polyester with a little bit of flame retardant properties and all, which makes it suitable for the firefighters and all. We will discuss about it under high performance fibers. Okay. So the next one is nylon. Nylon is also another man-made fiber, which is a man-made filament fiber, right? Yes, it is having good strength. Nylon, good strength, excellent abrasion resistant. What is mean by abrasion resistance? Abrasion resistance is basically the ability of a fabric to resist surface wear. So abrasion resistance is basically the ability of a fabric to resist surface wear. Okay. So you might have noticed in some of the garments, like the underarm region. The underarm region of certain garments, it wears out easily. It becomes dull. It just tears fast. The underarm region. It's because of the sweat and all. So abrasion resistance is that kind of fabric is having poor abrasion resistance because this part, this underarm region, it always got scratched with this side seam region, right? It just gets in contact with this part always, right? Because of which it is happening. So abrasion resistance. So a nylon is a fabric which is having good abrasion resistance, and it is more elastic than polyester. So polyester is having good elasticity, and nylon is having good elasticity even more than polyester. And it is a man-made filament fiber. It is abrasion resistant, it is having good strength, it is having good elasticity, and it is hygroscopic in nature. It absorbs moisture. Okay, it absorbs moisture. Not more than cotton, but more than polyester, 4% of its dry weight, which is 8.4, which is 8.4% for cotton, but it is 4% for nylon, but it is a good rate anyway. So nylon is hygroscopic in nature. Nylon is a man-made fiber which is very suitable as it is really strong. It is having good elasticity. It is really suitable for making products like rope, socks, swimsuits, cycling shorts, and sportswears. As sportswear do need good elasticity, right? It is supposed to stretch when we do activities. So nylon is a fabric or a fiber which is really suitable for creating ropes, trekking ropes, for creating swimwears, sportswears, cycling shorts, and all. And it is also having high strength, abrasion resistance, and all. Now, acrylic. Now let's talk about acrylic. So acrylic, just like viscous rayon is a replica of cotton, right? Just like that, acrylic is an alternative or a copy or a replica of wool. We can replace, instead of wool, we can just use acrylic. It kinds of have similar appearance, similar properties and all. Okay. So acrylic is a replacement for wool. So let's discuss about the properties of acrylic. So what are the properties of acrylic? Acrylic are used as a replacement or a substitute for wool, because just like wool fibers, acrylic fibers are also curly or wavy in nature. Okay, curly or wavy in nature, which makes it similar to wool fibers. It can be used for making knitted sweaters and all. It is having a soft texture, good strength. It is hydrophobic in nature. Just like wool, it absorbs moisture. And it is having static electricity. Okay, static elasticity. Static elasticity, and when exposed to flame, acrylic fibers ignite immediately, which is opposite to wool. Wool burns really slowly, whereas acrylic fibers, they ignite immediately, and they are resistant to acids than alkalis and is resistant to sunlight and weather. So no photochemical degradation when it comes to acrylic. Okay. So acrylic, a replacement for wool, it is hygroscopic in nature, resistant to sunlight and weather. It is resistant to acids and alkalis. It is hygroscopic in nature. It is having a soft handle. It is having good strength. Okay, so these are the, it is also having static elasticity. So these are the properties of acrylic. Now let's talk about high performance fibers. So what is mean by high performance fibers? High performance fibers or high performance textiles are the ones which is used for special tasks. Okay, so the garment, the outfit or the uniform worn by firefighters, it is made of a high performance textile. Okay, so what will happen if the firefighter wears something which is made of the normal textiles, that is cotton, polyester, wool, jute, linen, or something? It will just burn. It is not fire resistant, right? Even though cotton, linen, all these fibers can resist, can conduct heat and is kind of heat resistant, it is not fire resistant, right? It do burns. When it comes to polyester, it do melt, right? So thermoplast, high performance fibers are the fibers which are having special properties. So these high performance textiles do have resistance towards fire or temperature to a certain level, which makes it suitable for using for constructing firefighters uniform. And the space suits, you might have seen those space suits, right? The white ones. So all those things are made of high performance textiles with different qualities. Okay, with different qualities. So these are examples for high performance textiles. It is just 520. So we have already discussed about yarns, right? The fibers or the filament yarns, the staple fibers or the filament fibers will be converted into yarns by twisting it together. So 2, 3, 5. So if two fibers are twisted together to create a yarn, then it is a 2-ply. If 3 is twisted together, then it is 3-ply. So just like that, multiple number of fibers will be twisted in S twist or Z twist to form yarns. And later, these yarns will be used to construct what? Fabric. And then these fabrics will be used to construct garments. So this is a piece of fabric, right? It's just a rectangular, it's just a shawl. So will be used to construct this, a fabric, a piece of fabric. Yes. Weaving. Weaving, weaving is the process of converting yarns into fabrics. Warp yarns will be there, weft yarns will be there. Warp yarns are the ones which lies longitudinally in a fabric. So if this is a fabric, if this is a fabric, so this red line, this part, this side, it is the horizontal, it's the width of this particular fabric, right? This is the width. And this is the length, how it is lying on my body. So this is the warp. Okay, this is the warp or length of the fabric, and this is the weft. The yarns which runs horizontally or runs in the widthwise direction, they are called weft yarns, and the yarns which run longitudinally, they are warp yarns. Okay, they are the warp yarns. So warp yarns will be attached on the loom, whereas we will be inserting weft yarns. to complete the weaving process. We will be using a needle, which will be a similar of shape, which will be a bigger version of this one, with a space in the middle region. We will be inserting weft yarns. Okay, and that's how we will be weaving a fabric. So weaving. So under weaving, we learned about plain weave, we learned about twill weave, and we learned about satin and sateen weave. So plain weave is basically the basket weave, right? Plain weave is basically a basket weave. What about twill weave? Example, denim. It kind of creates a diagonal direction. Okay. So that is twill weave. What about satin and satin weave? It gives the fabric a lustrous appearance. Okay, satin and sateen weave gives the fabric a lustrous appearance. Okay. Yes. Now it's dyeing. So we will discuss dyeing and the remaining topics in the next class. Okay. We will discuss dyeing and printing in the next class, which is on Tuesday, right? Yes. So with that, we will just finish this particular chapter. Any doubts so far? Any doubts? Anything? Any doubts? Anything that you didn't understand or anything? Okay. Now what I want you to do is that just read till whatever we discussed today. Try to answer those exercise questions. Okay, try to answer those exercise questions and we will discuss those answers on Tuesday. Okay. If we do have time, we will discuss it on Tuesday, or otherwise we will discuss it on Thursday, because we do have 2 periods, 2 sessions on Thursday, right? So otherwise we will discuss it on Thursday. So try to answer all those exercise questions that is there on your textbook. So if I'm not wrong, so till exercise 2.3. Okay, till exercise 2.3. Read your textbook thoroughly and try to answer those questions. And if you have any doubts, in exercise 2.3, it's just true or false. Okay, so nothing much. So try to answer all those questions, then we will discuss. And if you have any doubt, please ask me. Okay. Everything good? Okay, so let's just wind up today's session.